We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Thousands of years ago, the Stoics already warned us about the enormous dangers of excessively worrying about one's future. Today, this is more relevant than ever, with pathological worrying sucking the life energy out of countless people around the world and associated psychological illnesses like depression and anxiety disorders on the rise. Thoughts of what might happen in the future accompany us every day and can quickly get out of hand. Worry can then steal our attention, our thoughts, our sleep, and even our health. It can make us hesitant and indecisive. It fills our life with uncertainty, and we may perceive ourselves to be at the mercy of external powers. Pathological worrying has already killed countless dreams and continues to do so. While this may portray worrying as some kind of supervillain, understanding its psychological roots may reveal a different picture. From a psychological perspective, worrying is part of an important and powerful cognitive ability that psychologists have named Episodic Future Thinking. It enables us to mentally time travel into the future and provides incredible behavioral flexibility that has immensely benefited our evolutionary survival. However, as we will see shortly, this cognitive ability is far from perfect and prone to serious error. This can facilitate those episodes of extensive and painful worrying that the Stoics have already warned us about in ancient times. But it is also within the writings of the Stoics that we may find practical wisdom to gradually free ourselves from our worries and learn to finally let go. Wild animals run from the dangers they actually see, and once they have escaped them, worry no more. We, however, are tormented alike by what is past and what is to come. A number of our blessings do us harm, for memory brings back the agony of fear, while foresight brings it on prematurely. No one confines his unhappiness to the present. Our brain's prefrontal cortex is often depicted as one of the crucial differentiators between other species and us. Its development has hugely contributed to our successful conquest of this planet, as it is associated with powerful cognitive abilities like planning, reasoning, and complex problem solving. While these cognitive superpowers ensured our survival and superiority, they also have some drawbacks. One such cognitive superpower is the already mentioned episodic future thinking, which is mainly associated with the medial anterior part of the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. By mentally envisioning future scenarios, humans gained a crucial evolutionary advantage, as they could play out different behaviors and their likely consequences in their minds without the risk of actual physical damage. Instead of being slaves to our impulses like wild animals, we were able to carefully plan future actions and maximize our chances of survival. However, this cognitive superpower came at a great cost, as it also enables us to become extremely anxious about hypothetical or imagined future scenarios that may or may not occur. While there is some adaptive value to worrying about one's future, as it can help to identify potential dangers and risks in advance, this can quickly become a curse and engulf one's entire being with anxious feelings. This is when worrying can turn pathological and suck the life energy out of us. But why do we get caught in such seemingly endless loops of worrying? What makes it so prevalent nowadays? And which solutions does Stoic wisdom offer? Our lives are increasingly complex and full of clutter. Thanks to technological advances, we often have several conversations simultaneously. Demands for our time and expectations on how we should behave are everywhere. A seemingly endless stream of stimuli is hitting us from different directions. We've constantly being sold supposed opportunities and promises of success. An increasing number of variables must be considered when making decisions. Even the seemingly simple act of choosing which movie to watch can overwhelm us. We fill our homes and basements with physical items we don't really need, and our minds with emotional drama from around the world. The perceived complexity and mental clutter stifle and paralyze us. The chaos takes over and consumes our thinking with worry and uncertainty. However, Roman emperor and famous Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius argued that many of those seemingly important things swirling within our minds are actually not important. He writes, Most of what we say and do is not essential. If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? So by doing less and getting rid of some physical and mental clutter, we may be able to reduce the complexity in our lives, gain more clarity, and hence ease our worries. This may be the key to finding that precious tranquility that has become so rare in this fast-paced world. There's nothing wrong with our desire to have some kind of control in our lives. The Stoics agreed that there are plenty of variables we can and should control in order to be equipped for future challenges. Seneca extensively emphasized the importance of envisioning different future scenarios and preparing for them in advance. He wrote, "This is why we need to envisage every possibility and to strengthen the spirit to deal with the things which may conceivably come about." However, this is also where the Stoics draw an important line. We must distinguish between things we can control and things we cannot control. Epictetus even called this the most important task in life, as he wrote, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control." People frequently struggle to distinguish between what they can and what they cannot control. They worry endlessly about aspects outside of their control and consequently feel anxious and powerless. We must accept that certain elements of life are beyond our control. Instead of worrying about these, we should focus on what we can actually influence. By focusing on what we can control, we may regain our confidence and calm our minds. Essentially, it is about letting go of this obsessive urge for absolute control, letting go of this illusion of safety, and letting go of this aversion to darkness. Epictetus fittingly concluded, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." A significant amount of our worries is rooted in our evolutionary beneficial fear of mistakes. Granted, when our ancestors were out in the wild, it probably paid off to anticipate possible mistakes in advance in order to maximize survival. The stakes were incredibly high, and a single mistake could have meant being eaten by a wild predator, ostracized by one's tribe, or killed after consuming toxic plants. While those stakes are usually not as high anymore, we still experience a tremendous fear of mistakes, which sometimes results in endless loops of worrying. A lot of times our fear of mistakes is related to the fear of being judged by others. People showcase their seemingly flawless lives to the public, and if we dare to share mistakes, mean judgment is quickly unleashed upon us. While uplifting encouragements are scarce, cruel judgments are omnipresent. The Stoics were aware of how extensively worrying about other people's judgment can lead to a lot of suffering. This is why Marcus Aurelius stressed the importance of gradually freeing oneself from this predicament, as he wrote, "Your energy and time are both limited, so don't waste them on what those inconsequential to your life are doing, thinking, and saying." I especially like this quote, as it does not claim that one should not care about what others think of them altogether, but rather differentiate between those that have a meaningful place in your life and those that don't. And Marcus Aurelius also provided valuable wisdom on looking at mistakes from a different perspective. While many perceive mistakes to be the end of a journey, he advocated to perceive mistakes as part of the journey. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So what do we make of all this? Many individuals who excessively worry about the future look for ways to stop their worries altogether. However, for a healthy brain, that is not only impossible, but also undesirable. We have seen that worrying is rooted in the important cognitive ability of episodic future thinking, which has given us a crucial evolutionary advantage and continues to provide us with behavioral flexibility. But we have also seen how this cognitive superpower can easily become cursed and transform into a self-destructive weapon. This is when worrying turns into a monster and slowly sucks the life out of us. Stoic philosophers such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius provided practical and timeless wisdom in how to ease our worrying. By reducing the complexity and mental clutter of our lives, By letting go of our desire to control things outside of our influence, by overcoming the fear of judgment from others, and by accepting mistakes as part of our journey, we may gradually reduce the self-inflicted suffering and finally reclaim our life.